Hi, it's Steve from MyColdTherapy. Today we're diving into the important topic, how to properly use the Aircast Cryo Cuff cooler. Follow along as we provide a step-by-step guide to help you understand the features and functionality of the device. Whether you're recovering from an injury or seeking relief from pain and swelling, this device can be a game changer in your recovery journey. If you're new here, make sure you click that subscribe button and any links to everything that we mentioned in the video, which you can find in the description box below. Let's jump right into it. So, what is the Aircast Cryo Cuff cooler? The Aircast IC cooler is a motorized unit designed to provide cold therapy and dynamic compression. It's clinically proven to reduce swelling, alleviate pain, and enhance mobility. This cold therapy device is ideal for post-operative surgery and recovery from athletic training and home use. So dynamic compression. The Aircast unit provides dynamic compression. What is that? The device features a 30-second cycle that provides automatic intermittent compression, providing cold therapy and compression by exchanging chilled pressurized water between the cuff and the cooler intermittently. So we're going to show you what comes in the Aircast box when you get the cooler at home. This is what the box is going to look like when it comes in the mail. So you want to cut it open. First thing you always want to do on any of our training videos is check the pad. In this case, we ordered a knee pad, so please make sure on the top corner here it says knee pad or the pad that you ordered. It's going to get the cooler and it's going to come wrapped in this bag. So as you unbox it, untie it. So you get the cooler itself, instruction booklet. It's going to come with the hose to attach to the cooler, and it's going to come with an insulation barrier. This is all sitting inside the cooler. The other thing you're going to get is you're going to get the motor, which is in the lid, and that's going to come in the box, and you screw it on. Now the top secret thing that Aircast does, they make things hard on everybody, is the power cord is stuck in this channel. So please make sure you unbox everything and you get your power cord. A lot of people will call us and say, hey, you didn't send the power cord. They just don't know it's in that channel. So now we're going to show you how to fill up the Aircast Cryo Cuff. Now we're going to show you how to assemble the Aircast IC cooler. First thing you want to do is we got to get the hose hooked up to the cooler. So you want to unscrew the cap. Then you get your hose, just like a garden hose, and plug this in, or screw this in, I should say. Inside the cooler, there is a fill line for the water. It's hard to see on the video, but you'll see it when you have it at home. So the first thing you do with the water is fill it to the fill line. Alright, once you got the water in there, now you need to put your ice in. Most people use ice cubes. In this case, we're using ice bags. So we're going to put the ice bags directly in the cooler. And the Aircast gives you an insulation barrier. The insulation barrier goes on the top to help keep everything cold. Then you want to put the lid on the cooler. And this is where the motor is. It's in the lid. You plug it in right here. Now there's two tricks to try to get this thing cold. Let it sit for 5 minutes, and in some cases people will shake the cooler out to mix the water and the ice together. And this is how you assemble the Aircast cooler for use. Now that we have put water in the cooler, and we showed you how to fill it to the fill line and put the ice in, now we need to prime the cuff. You want to fill the cuff with water by raising the cooler no more than 15 inches above for 30 seconds. So what you want to do is you want to hook the hose into the pad, and you want to put the pad down and raise the cooler up. This allows the pressure to push the water into the cuff. Now once the water is filled, you want to turn the cooler on, and we recommend placing the cooler on a stable surface and level the base even with the cuff while you're using the ColdTherapy device. So the pro tip for this is what we call blue to blue method for all the Aircast cuffs. The Aircast cooler is blue, the cuff is blue, so keep the cuff and the cooler on the same level for optimal performance. Please do not place the cooler on the floor and have the water pumping up the cuff because the device will not work efficiently or provide the best ColdTherapy treatment. So to turn the cooler on, you're going to plug this into the wall and you plug it into the top of the cooler right here, and that's going to turn it on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the knee cuff on. And it goes on simply with 2 straps. And get it comfortable. And now you can start your ColdTherapy treatment. And these straps here are you can cut them. Now we did all kinds of videos for the Aircast pads, for the applications. So we'll provide a link for each one of this in the description box below. Please make sure to check the link if you need assistance with applying the cuff, as well as any additional information. Now that we've shown you how to do your treatment, how does the water circulate in the Aircast IC cooler? There's a pressure valve on the top of the Aircast lid, and it's opposite of the power supply. It's right here. So while the cooler is on and in use, the motor and the pump will pressurize and depressurize the cooler in timed intervals, 30 seconds in most cases, allowing the water to cycle back and forth to the cuff. So at the end of the treatment, how do you drain the water from the cuff back into the cooler after use? So what you want to do is you want to place it on a stable surface, or if you can do it, place it on the floor and remove the cuff. While the cooler is still on, you want to raise the cuff as high as possible above the cooler. And you want to hold it there for about 15 seconds to allow the pump to drain the water from the cuff back into the cooler. After 15 seconds, go ahead and unplug the cooler from the power supply on the lid and empty the remaining ice and water from the cooler. To drain any remaining water from the cuff, you want to raise it above the cooler with the hose connected and squeeze the water until it's empty. And this will get out any residual water. So the next step is, how do you clean the cooler and where should it be stored? So remember to clean the cooler with mild detergent, avoiding water on the lid where the motor is located. Do not run water on the lid because the motor is located inside and will damage it, as that is where the plug and the power supply is. The manufacturer recommends using a few ounces of liquid soap with hot water in the cooler and running a cycle to clean the cuff, hose, and cooler. Recycle the soap and water mixture between cooler and cuff a few times. Repeat the process with warm water only. After that, rinse completely and dry after cleaning. Once dry, store it in a clean, ventilated space. Now that we've cleaned the cooler and the cuff, are there any other important tips and information that you should know about? When you receive your cuff, you're going to see a hole on the front of the pad, and we get a lot of calls and questions about this. It's right there, and this is on every single Aircast pad. It is designed that way by the manufacturer to help relieve pressure when it's being used and to prevent condensation buildup. The Aircast cooler weighs about 4 pounds. However, once you apply water and ice into the cooler, the weight's going to go up to roughly 7 to 10 pounds. The weight is determined by how much ice you pour into the cooler. And a lot of patients are going to ask, how long does the water stay cold? And it depends on certain factors, such as how much water and ice is filled inside the cooler and the temperature setting in your home where you're using the ColdTherapy device. It's estimated to last about 6 to 8 hours if the cooler is filled to the top. Do you need a skin barrier? A barrier is not needed when applying the Aircast cuff. It can be applied directly to the skin to help reduce pain and swelling. We get a lot of patients who ask, how long should we use the cooler for? The universal rule of thumb is 20 minutes on and 20 minutes off to avoid frostbite or skin damage. But please, this is where you talk to your doctor. They're the ones who give you the protocol. Next thing is, where is the motor located? The device has an integrated pneumatic pump located inside the lid of the cooler, and it is a whisper quiet motor. And this right here is actually the pump on the Aircast cooler. And there you have it. With the Aircast Cryo Cuff IC cooler, recovery just got easier. Don't forget to check that description box below for more information and helpful links. We'll drop them all in the description box below. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, please leave us a comment below. And thanks for watching, and let's get back to living.